Hello, everybody. We're finally back. Oh my goodness, a year later. Unbelievable. It's been so long, and I am back with familiar faces in different places. Especially, you guys, well, no introduction needed really, but I'm going to throw it over to Drew, who's actually over on this side. Drew, you're a guest this time. Welcome back, man. I haven't talked to you in forever. I haven't been able to see you in a while. You got a new dog. Lots of exciting things happening in your life. And what's up, man?
Dude, I'm doing good. How are you, man? Dude, getting this together has been so wonderful, and I'm so happy to be back. And thank you for having me on as a guest. It's great.
Of course, yeah. Manny, you're joining. You are the new. You're yes, here, not far from me.
I am the new. I'm a
co-host,
stepfather.
Yeah,
stepfather that is trying to convince you guys to love me. But yeah, hi. Yes, I'm the new guy. I've been playing X-Wing since like March. I'm a slide. I play Resistance. I'm a slide slipping
maniac. You're the side slipping maniac. Yeah, that's a story for. Yeah. There's a big story there. That. We'll be talking about that. So those of you guys that have never watched this before, we did 6 episodes of season 1, and we ended exactly about a year ago, celebrating the holidays. So season 2 is aiming to be minimum of 6. I'd like to do more, once a month. We'll try to do it, in the middle of each month, ultimately whatever works for our schedules. Though we're busy. Manny and I will always be here, and we'll cycle out different guests. If you guys are ever interested in joining us and just hanging out and talking about random shit, then this is let us know. This is the place to be. But yeah, Drew, thanks for making the time, man. It's good to have you back. We missed you, and let's have a good time tonight. Let's do it. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Looking forward to it.
So I'm actually going to reset our topics because it did not. Let's see. Can I reset it here? Yes, it should be able to. Stand by for Struggle Bus. So you guys will see we have a bunch of different topics, and I'm going to go. Here we go. There we go. For some reason, my Stream Deck is not cooperating already. All right, so we have our introduction. We already broke down exactly. The 3 and 2 show is not an X-Wing podcast. It's not even. I wouldn't even necessarily call it. It definitely feels like a podcast, but it's much more than X-Wing, and it's much more than just a simple podcast. I feel like there's maybe a stigma. And unfairly so around podcasting, because during the pandemic, everybody bought a Blue Yeti. Everybody said they were going to do podcasts, and it could be really easy to just talk for and think people find what you say interesting. We're going to try to be as entertaining and as interesting as possible, but ultimately this is a show with production value and us just having a good time. At the end of every show, we're going to do a giveaway. I have a scenario die from our tournament. These are one of a kind. Nobody else has done this, so we'll give away one of these. This is from the Windy City Trials. We'll do that later at the end of the stream. And yeah, so you'll see the topics on the right hand side. We have a bunch of different ones, including one that I actually failed to put in here. It's us reacting to YouTube videos you sent us. So we'll do that in a little bit. But the first thing we're going to do is actually talk about Chicago, because this is a stream that takes place in Chicago. Drew is in California, but he's still a 312 boy, deep rooted 312 local, just virtual local is what we call it.
Chicago is in my heart.
Chicago is in his heart. So we'll do random Chicago first, and I'm gonna take you guys to our so the first thing we're gonna talk about is why is Chicago called the Windy City? You guys will see actually, hold on, let me fix my video.
Wait, is this on pequotspizza.com?
Is it actually?
Yeah.
That's really funny. Why is my video all, there we go. I didn't even check that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is indeed Chicago's best deep dish. Don't at me. I'll be down to argue.
Yeah, except I've never had Pequods, dude. I've never had the opportunity.
What? This is a hill I'm willing to die on. Pequods is great.
I've never been able to have it. I mean, it's just been so busy. It's Pequod's, guys, is considered probably the best place to get deep dish pizza in Chicago, but it is so popular and so busy that most of the times, if you don't make a reservation, which
It's like an
obviously
hour wait.
it's
yeah.
well, and then you wait another hour and a half. Yeah, I do have family in California. What's up, Frankles? How's it going? All right, so why is go ahead. What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
gonna say I'm his family.
Yeah, I just go home
Okay,
to visit
moving
Drew.
on. Yep.
All right, so basically so why is Chicago? We're just gonna scroll past all the history stuff because I don't know if I'm not lecturing at you guys today. We're go back to school for that. So based on these early records, the nickname Windy City originated based on the area's windstorms and because the people were known for being full of hot air. That's the big one, is that it's a political, there's a political history to the Windy City. It is that the politicians were known for being full of hot air, which I don't think is an insult you use anymore today. It doesn't really have the same kind of impact. It's just
Are
like
we still number one with most politicians in jail? I feel like
probably.
we are. Yeah.
We probably are. You guys will also know people
wow.
also nickname Chicago the second city because apparently New York is the first city, but Chicago's good enough to be called the second city, and that's also where some of our favorite comedians have come up from. The comedy club known as the Second City, which is you see a lot of improv shows and great shows there. That's still open in Old Town here in Chicago. Really good time. Yeah, strongly recommend. It's a really good time. So, but it's windy here. It is. Chicago is super fucking windy. Last weekend for our tournament, I had 3 people over, and I got an hour of sleep that night before the tournament because the wind was howling and just hitting the building and my parents' building so hard that it was so loud I could not fall asleep. So, how did Lori Lightfoot get elected? Because she got more votes than her opponent.
That's how democracy works.
This is how democracy.
That's how democracy works.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yep. Yeah, Lightfoot's not the most popular. We're not gonna lie about that.
Guys, Chicago is a car city. I don't know if you realize that. I can't believe she said that.
Yeah, yikers. All right, next up, it's time for some hot takes. You guys ready for hot takes? Manny has been waiting for this moment.
Take it over, man. I used to be so bad at hot takes, so.
All right. Okay. This might be like. Let's start off easy. Okay. 9/11 was bad. Okay, now.
Oh, Spice!
Please clap. No, but
Yeah, please clap. Oh God. 9/11. Everyone's like.
Okay, let's start with the easy one. I think Portillo's is overrated. I think Portillo's, you go once, so you never need to go again. Honestly, if you ignore it, you're not missing much.
I'm just spamming the hot takes animation right now. It is really hot. Oh man, where's the Godzilla topic? We're doing dinosaurs. Don't you worry. We got dinosaurs, but we're not doing Godzilla.
Yep.
Why? But why?
I mean, there's so many other restaurants that I would prefer to go over than Portillo's. I mean, it's like an issue here. It's like a thing of taste, or is it more of like price of what you get? Like, is it about that ratio? Or,
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, it's about that. Okay, let's see. Cause.
Well, yeah, you want the most bang for your buck, right? If you want to pay, you want to have a good meal, but you also want a decent sized plate that you get, right?
That's
Like,
true, but like, I also don't want to hate myself afterwards, right? Because
also true.
Also, like, if you have a full cake shake, you're gonna be regretting that like 2
Yep.
hours later, right?
Yep.
I can't.
You're gonna relive everyone's favorite scene from Andor. One way out. One way out. Yeah, exactly.
One way. That's great.
Oh my God. Here's one. This is topical. Taylor Swift's been in the news a lot lately. So if any woman hears me say this, I'd probably get, crucified. But
No.
Taylor Swift is a good she's a talented singer. She's made great music, but she is so overrated. I am so sick of hearing about Taylor Swift, you know, in Ticketmaster and people wanting to spend $10, $15, $20,000 to go see a pop artist, man. Come on. What's going on?
How can you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Yet so brave. Yeah. Yep.
The Swifties are coming at your door right now to break it down.
I think there's an when someone says like Taylor Swift's overrated, it's like that I'm saying she sucks. I just like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's like Velvet Buddha's obsession with Carly Rae Jepsen. I don't get it, Buddha. She's made like 3 hit songs. She's cute,
hot.
but she's just like, what? He acts like it's like the obsession is almost like as if her quality of music is like touching like the Beatles and just these massive, huge.
Yep. Meta defining, music defining.
That
right?
the Beatles are overrated. I know you're gonna say that the Beatles are overrated.
I will say though, if there's any fight that can take down Ticketmaster, it is the Swifties. If the Swifties can't take down Ticketmaster, then no one can. Okay, they're like the cavalry. They're like
That's true. If meaningful change is made to the monopolization of of concerts and how to get tickets, then great.
I believe the leader of the FFC like said something as in like there's nothing.
What's the FFC?
No, like the Federal Exchange Commission. I don't know specifically.
The FCC.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was gonna say FFC
anyway,
sounds like FFG.
The guys who's in charge of breaking up monopolies, right? I think she went on the record to say is like there's nothing I could have done to convince Swifties or like to convince young people that Ticketmaster was a monopoly other than what they actually did.
Nicholas the X-Wing spelling the Beatles wrong, so I'm not even gonna read the rest of that. Chat. Thank you for the sub though, man. 25 months. I still respect you, appreciate you, but I just can't. Yeah. If you want to call them 100% overrated and that their lyrics are terrible, you can spell their name correctly and capitalize B in Beatles, and we could. You paste that to make those changes, paste it, and I'll read it, and then we can talk about it. I'm such a dick. No, they don't deserve the respect. That's just mean. Just mean for the sake of being mean. From all the woman beating. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Jamo is trying to bait me into talking about Lori Lightfoot, and then Greg is guns blazing so far. All right, Drew, hit me with something, man. Hit me with a hot take.
So, dude, we were talking about Chipotle earlier, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, my hot take, man. Taco Bell's way better than Chipotle.
Oh no!
Like,
oh man, he's
my hot take. He's my hot take.
Suiting up.
Maybe it's my stomach, but like,
I love this segment so much.
I have a love for Chipotle. Okay, now here.
Wow.
I have a love for Taco Bell. It has a place. It has a time. And that is when it is 1 a.m. and I'm sloshed, and anything can make me see the face of God. If I just have a little bit of Taco Bell, right? But Chipotle, though, it's like, objectively, it's just like you... Okay, here.
It's a Drugsville, the time is 3 a.m.
Yep.
Place is Drugsville, the time is 3 a.m. Yeah, I've been there more often than I care to count. But like, Chipotle, objectively, is so much of like a better bang for your buck. You pay like $10 for a bowl, and you don't need to eat for an entire day. Also, it's not the worst thing for you.
Yeah,
like,
and
Chipotle's huge, Drew, in California, man. Chipotle is even more sacred than it is here. They're everywhere.
It's on, and maybe that's why I'm just so tired of it,
They're
right? 'Cause
everywhere.
It's everywhere you turn, on every corner, right? It's next to the Starbucks that everyone has, right? Like,
yeah.
But Manny, you raised a really good point. We were just talking about bang for buck, and like my wife and I, we go out sometimes, and I gotta be honest with you, every time we go to Chipotle, we have lunch and we have dinner, and it's the same. We get the bowls. It's great, but I don't know, man. The Taco Bell for me is just that special spot.
You know
That's my hot take.
Just admit that Chipotle is too spicy for you, and let's move on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to not be as white as I can, as you can see, right? Like, it's yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna follow up with another one. Then Manny, it's going back to you. I got in a little bit of a civil argument with Scooter, aka Will, and Tyler, who won our tournament, about Solo. I don't, without going too deep into it, Solo is the film equivalent of The Color Beige. It is boring. It is dull. It is not It is not worth rewatching, and it never needed to be made. And I think it's such an afterthought that if people still think it's good, why did Disney decide to not put any advertising into it? I mean, almost any. I mean, there was a little bit, but they cut the entire ad budget for the movie. You don't do that if you think it's good. You don't.
That film, it's not the worst, but if I had to rate it one word, it's forgettable.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just forgettable.
Unsub, unfollow. I mean, I would gladly. I'm gonna stay on that hill. Nick, have a good opinion challenge. Don't think you can do it. Well, man, you should have a good opinion, and then we can talk, Mr. Beatles.
I have like one memorable thing about that film. I thought the Donald
Mall. That's it.
yeah.
That's the only thing I remember.
Memorable because it was cringe.
I like Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
Donald Glover,
That's cool.
they didn't write his character well enough for me to be like,
no.
I would rewatch it for Donald Glover. Even that was not that good. Like,
Also, how many people stay after the credits only to like say, "Wait, is that fucking dark? Is that Maul? How did he come back?"
That Maul?
He's
Yeah.
like, I was like,
Yep.
I
we'll
was
turn on
like,
his lightsaber
that's
so we
right, he
know.
was Cut in half.
Yeah, right? No, exactly.
That's right.
Yep,
Forgot about that.
yep.
He's like randomly takes out his lightsaber, lights. It's like, "Hey, dumbasses, I'm Maul."
He's like, fuck
I'm
my
all-
toe.
Back now.
Why did I
Right through
do
his
that?
foot.
Yeah, I'm really curious on like if they're planning to like go somewhere with that. If they do, I think it's only been in the comics because
Solo is not a great ride, dude. It's not. It's got the train heist scene is fun. I'm not to say that I was asleep when I watched that movie, man, but it is just. I mean, come on. We didn't need any of it, and nobody cared enough about Solo to need the context
asked
behind
for
his
it.
name. His name, that's bullshit. Absolutely lazy writing. No, I reject.
Yeah.
I absolutely reject any of that, man. Fuck that shit, dude.
They took all of the best lore right around the character of Han Solo from Episode 4, and they shoved all of it into like an hour-and-a-half movie, and it was like, instead of like, you know, this great like, oh yeah, you know, back when I was 30 I did this, and then like, you know, a few years later we did this. It was literally like, nope, I met Chewbacca, then I, you know, went to Kessel, then I did the run, and like, then we did the thing.
Don't get
and,
me
like, it's
started on the Kessel Run, Drew. The Kessel Run is so bad.
Yep.
So bad.
Yep.
I don't even remember it.
Anyways, it's not good. Manny?
Although Kara was pretty hot.
Well, I mean,
I'll say
it's
about that.
Emilia Clarke. I mean, come on.
Amelia Clarke is incredible.
It's Amelia. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, kind of back to the issue of music. Spotify Rap just came out, and if your top 5 artists if 80% of your top 5 artists, so 4, math, are on like the top 10 most stream artists, or like is stuff you would hear on the radio, to me that's a red flag, and you have no personality. Yeah, because music, I feel, is a reflection of the soul. So if your music is generic as hell, then I just assume you are generic.
Well, and hey,
Wow.
we don't AMG. We don't like generics. We do not like you generics.
Wow. Nope.
Don't like you generics out there. There's a little bit of spice there. A little habanero there.
That being said, I have a playlist that has tons of pop music, like pop music from high school, like Justin Bieber. Yeah, right. And I just use that to run because I get angry, and I get angry listening to sad music, and it makes me run faster. So there's a use for it.
Mystic Josh is missing every shot he's shooting right now. He's L337 was awesome. It's just like, what's next, man? He's gonna tell me Dr. Pepper's bad. It's just not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yes. Is she okay? Yes. Oh, she's a bad character, but is she a good upgrade? No, that's not
Drew thought he was about to say
Wow.
Dr. Pepper was bad.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Manny, what are you saying? Like,
no. But it's also not my preferred drink.
That's fair. All right, Drew, round
That's
us
fair,
out
fair.
before we move on to our rapid
right.
fire with you.
I got a political one. Is that okay? Can I-
Absolutely.
okay,
We're gonna
okay,
talk
okay,
about
no.
we're gonna
Hold on,
talk
hold on,
about
all right,
Warnock
let's go.
here in a moment. We're gonna
Alright,
talk about
So
Warnock.
I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the Georgia runoff numbers, right? And it's like, lost 49.6 to winning 50.4. And I'm looking at the numbers and my hot take is like, the numbers are never that close, right? Like no, that I was like, it doesn't feel like it shouldn't be that close. I always feel like if the Democrats win, they're like, all right, guys, we're gonna add some numbers there for the Republicans to make it look like it was like hair length, right? Like I don't know. I always look at them and I'm just like, oh my god, it's literally like split down the middle, right? Like
That's what
So
happens.
my
when
hot
the
take
country
is
gets polarized.
yeah, sure.
What's the hot take? What's the hot take though?
Specifically Georgia.
That's
you're-
the hot take is the Dems are making it look closer to make the other side feel better. That's my hot take. Like I see the numbers and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we steamrolled them, right? Like
What is actually
What?
like? How many points did
Yeah, so Warnock
by.
looks like he won by about 3 points to round up to
All right,
3.
so my
Yeah.
prediction was
So my
kinda
my
right.
prediction, I said 3 to 3.5. So
It's like 3
Uh-huh.
to 4.
the rare conspiracy theory where Democrats are making the vote closer for Republican feelings. I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't know if I agree with that one.
And wait, and they call us the snowflakes? They call
I
us the
know, right?
snowflakes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, as Greg said yesterday in Nickel City, he said, "The red wave where you lose a Senate seat. It's it's an inverse wave. The wave is going the other way. Oh,
the tide is the tide is receding.
the tide recedes. The tide recedes." Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
Man.
Oh.
So that's
we're losing Drew a little bit. There we go.
Losing
He's
Drew.
oh,
Oh, he's back.
sorry, keep going. No, I'm back. Keep going, Nick. Keep going.
he's super
Okay.
delayed right now. The audio sync will catch back up with him. So. Man, I hosted a watch party last night for the runoff, and Manny was there, and a couple of our friends, and it's. I think it's thrilling for media to be able to have this race seesaw and to be able to click the counties
right
and
there. They're
yeah.
right there. Right.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, oh, we got was it
John King, this
Fulton
man
County,
always
Fulton
like
County,
touching-
where Atlanta is. John King being like, oh, there's a lot of votes here. There's only 47% reporting. That's going to lean heavily for the Warnock campaign. And candidate quality matters, and I think ultimately, if you want to win any sort of competition in life, this is a lesson. Herschel Walker is a lesson to a lot of people, because in a way, I have a lot of pity for him. For him, he's not a good dude, but there's some pity there. Is that you have to be a decent person, and you have to be likable on a scale that goes, that really surmounts your opponent, and be a quality candidate to win most popularity contests. In fact, almost all of them. Unfortunately, in the past, we've showed that some people are brainwashed and don't care about candidate quality. But if I were independent and I, weren't interested in either candidate or like very attached to either, it would still be very clear based on how they talk and, stuff like that, who would belong running in the government, running the government, and who would not. So GOP, maybe you should consider more likable people who are relatable.
Or perhaps not, and hand us 2024. That's another
Yep.
option.
That's a good
Warnock is
option,
way
yeah.
more likable. That's why he won.
Are you
He's
joking?
more likable.
Yeah, wait, is that like a joke comment? That's
No,
just-
right,
Jomo. I think Jomo is more conservative, which is fine. We welcome
Gotcha.
all viewpoints, and I respect all viewpoints. However, conservatives have a lot of reflecting to do because they suck right now. They need to
Yeah,
figure
the
this
right
shit
place
out.
they
Here,
do.
I am a bleeding heart liberal. Don't call me a Democrat, but I personally believe
You're a
that
Democrat.
we do need a
You're a Democrat, yeah.
we do need a strong conservative party. But the current party is so off the fucking rails and only appeals
Yeah.
to such a small
Guys,
demographic.
yeah.
Granted, enough in order for
Yep.
them to win elections, sure, but they have so many systemic advantage through the electoral college through gerrymandering, in where they don't need to appeal to the broadest audience, right?
Right.
And that's what makes them go all in on these crazy candidates.
Yeah. My last thing, I don't want to get, ultra political. I do agree with everything that Greg is saying.
I'm
by
sorry, Nick. I'm sorry. That was.
No. You don't. You shouldn't apologize. The last thing I want to say is just that the way the government works, right? I can't believe I have to mansplain this, but is that you get elected by people to represent them. You are a representative. And if there are crises, which one is it? Crises, and problems that your state or your district is facing, and you turn around and say, you know what, I'm more interested in a laptop. You are not going to win very often because you don't give a fuck about the people you're representing. So do your job, start to act like you want to do your job, and things will get better. But until then, it's not looking so good. So that's just the way it is.
And don't try to, dismantle democracy while you're at it.
And try not to overthrow democracy.
That's a big one.
That's not a big one. It doesn't matter. It's not important. All right. So our next topic, it is time for guest rapid fire. Drew, we get to do this to you now.
All right.
I've always wanted this to happen to me, so I'm very excited.
Do it to me. Do it to me.
All right, he's on the hot seat.
I want everything to happen to me. All right, so we have a timer, 1:30, and I have no preparation for these questions. In the past, we've asked people to ask questions, but that's just a lot to rely on people on Discord to give us enough material for this segment. So, Manny, we're just gonna off the cuff try to ask as many questions as possible. Nothing too existential or something that's gonna take them a minute to think of the answer for.
All right, cool.
So here's my suggestion, Manny. Let me know if you're down for this.
All right.
My suggestion is that we do a first thing that comes to your mind when we say this word, kind of rapid fire.
All right, that's still scary, but sure.
It's a little bit easier than coming up with 1:30 worth of questions.
Are there other questions? Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm gonna start us off. Timer is starting now. All right, Drew. First thing that comes to mind: AMG.
Star Wars.
Manny.
All right. Pokemon.
Bulbasaur.
Okay.
Bacon.
Eggs.
Fruit.
Ooh,
Foods.
peach.
What? Oh.
California.
Ooh, San Francisco.
All right. Sport.
Football.
Gavin Newsom.
Governor.
Oh, come on. All right, fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm sorry.
Sweet.
Sweet. Hotel.
Bullseye.
Ooh, Marvel Marvel villain.
Okay.
All right.
30 seconds.
Restaurant.
Ooh, Chipotle. Restaurant.
Overrated.
Right.
Overrated. Oh,
Thank you,
Nick.
Planning Phase, so much for Planning Phase for the raid. Appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't shout that out right away. 11 people joining us here. Welcome back to the 312 show. Go ahead, Manny. Do another one.
Yeah. Country.
Oh, country. Japan.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Chicago.
Ooh, Illinois.
Okay. Yes, that's where it is.
Sorry.
All right, Manny, last one.
Video game.
Ooh, Legend of Zelda.
Interesting. Okay.
It's like, okay. Now the chat, Jamo saying Giordano's. What would you say to Giordano's? We're at time, by the way, but
Giordano's.
have you had
it's on the
Giordano's before?
bottom.
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, it's a chain. It makes deep dish pizza.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
lower
It's the
tier.
best.
It's not terrible, but it's certainly not that good.
But
It's lower tier. It's a lower tier.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the fast food of deep dish.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't really know there was a fast food at deep dish. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
And Planning Phase rated again with 1 viewer. Thank you. That viewer is me. All right. I'm the viewer now. Look at me. I'm the viewer
Look
now.
at me. I'm the viewer now.
How's
Yep.
it going, everybody? Through and Two Show is back, season 2. We have our former co-host and now guest star of the season 2 debut, Drew Bishop Sai, is back, and then my co-pilot, our co-host going forward here, Manny Picazo, the side slipping maniac that he is. He's here.
Slip off the map. Oh boy.
He's had a couple of old fashions. He was a little late to our tech setup, but
Yep.
I'm not gonna hold it against him because he does a lot for me for free. So
He's
free labor is the
slid in
best labor,
unnoticed.
man.
Yep.
It's my office holiday party.
Wow.
Perpetual
And, like, you
unpaid
know what?
intern.
3 old fashions. I can't really say no.
Oh, 3? Nice. Good for
No,
you,
well,
man.
No, free.
Well,
Oh,
free.
3 free or just free?
I also had 2.
Okay, got it.
2 free old fashions.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Nick. You can just call me Nick. Jesus Christ is a
Yeah,
little
Jesus
above
Christ, it's
where I'm at.
a little much.
His
Yeah.
ego's already like too inflated for his head, so don't
He's
need
full of hot air, man.
Yeah,
I don't know what to
exactly,
tell
full of
you.
hot air. He's from Illinois. He's full of hot air.
Solid choice of cocktail. Yeah, old fashions. You can't go wrong with I can never judge anybody
no,
for
it's
getting an
solid.
old fashioned. That's solid. Solid choice. All right, we are going to move on to a new segment. If I were president, inspired by Manny.
Yay!
So,
Let's go.
all right. So basically, Drew, what this segment is you're gonna.
Sure.
If you were president, what laws would you, is, for example, anybody
Yep, I
that
got it.
drives 10 miles an hour slow in the left lane gets catapulted to the moon. That would be, that's could be if you were president. So that's a bad example, but it's something. All right, so I'm gonna start, Manny. This is dedicated to you, so we are gonna
boys.
give Drew some time to think of one, and
All right.
let's start us off.
Oh, I have one already. I'm
Okay.
ready to go.
Okay.
All
right.
Day one. Do you want to start with? Do you want to start with me, or do you want?
We'll start with Manny, and then we'll cue you up next.
Yeah.
All
Sure.
right.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Yeah. So we've all been there. We're crossing, just like walking down the street, and some guy who's like trying to get signatures or trying to get like donations like for a cause tries to like stop us. And it's a weird, awkward conversation. It's like, oh, sorry, I gotta be somewhere, even though we lost Drew.
God damn it.
Oh, no.
Is he still here?
That's gonna screw up our crop here, so things are gonna look real weird. You're gonna see the top
Oh,
of
yeah.
Manny's head. You're gonna see. Hold on. Hold it up for your life. Hello. Hold on. He'll be back. His internet's been acting up a little bit.
If I were prime minister, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to keep it specific to the United States.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Wow, the Through and Two really knows how to set up their video sources here." Absolutely. That's what I'm good at.
This usually never happens.
Yeah, there he's
Oh,
back.
he's
He's back. All right,
I'm
all right,
so
all right.
sorry,
Donation
guys.
Donation goal. We are getting Drew a new modem.
No.
I'm kidding.
Please,
I'm
it's
kidding.
okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so guy's walking down the street, and he's trying to ask for
Yeah,
signatures.
go ahead.
so-
Continue. Continue on.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, it's like you don't want to like stop and talk, but like, so you like make an excuse like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just gotta be somewhere, right? And so next day, he thinks like, you know what's a good way to not get the guy to talk to me? If I put on headphones, right? Because headphones should be the universal sign of like, hey, don't fucking talk to me. It's a golden rule of the gym. It's like you don't approach a girl who's working out who has headphones in because she doesn't want any of it. All right. The amount of times
Or
I've
a
seen
guy,
guys-
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like even a guy. The amount of times that I've seen people try to hit on other people in gyms is pathetic. But
But what if she's hot?
just like walk up and say, hey, you're doing the squats wrong. Here, watch me.
Oh man. All right, Manny. So
Oh
what's
my
the punishment
God.
though if
Yeah,
somebody does
right,
that?
So like yeah, like headphones, right? They should have talked to me, and they do. They continue to talk even though they have acknowledged that you have headphones, and as a result, I believe they should be taken to a
Guantanamo
sponsored
Bay
trip
or
to Guantanamo.
Okay.
Yeah, no, exactly. To Guantanamo. Yeah, if you talk with someone who has the headphones in and you willingly know, straight to the gulag. No trial, no jury, no grab $200 past.
I like the no
Just straight
trial
gulag.
idea. This is a very constitutional idea that I support. Guilty
I mean,
until
yeah.
proven and actually guilty.
Here, how bad? Here, how bad is a little waterboarding? Come on, how bad? Here, waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds really cool if you don't know what either of those things
Oh
are.
my god. Yo, man, that's some radical Islam you got there, Hang 10. Oh man, that is our starting us off. If Manny were president, to summarize, if you decided to have the audacity to try to get the attention of somebody who clearly has their headphones in, you will be immediately sent to the gulag. No trial, you're guilty, and you're going to spend a long time there. Apparently waterboarding is going to be involved, which seems very reasonable.
So, rule of
You're
thumb,
out.
if you see me with headphones, just don't talk to me.
Yeah. Well, fuck, because you're wearing them right now. God damn it!
Oh,
We're
God.
screwed!
God,
Ah,
You
no.
baited us.
no.
You
Did it.
baited us.
Stop.
You absolutely baited us, Manny.
FBI is right out your door. FBI, open up!
Oh man. Oh boy. All right.
Hilarious.
Well,
Yeah, like-
Drew.
SEAL Team 6 on you guys.
All right, man. So I got one. I've got a real one that I'll bring up after this one. But I have to be honest with you. There's sometimes, man, when I was growing up, there were a lot of people that I would like hang out with and was like, oh yeah, they're pretty cool. And we get in the car and we used to be talking and things would go off the rails pretty quickly sometimes and be like, God, man, like, can you just like stop? And it became a joke with some of my closer friends and I of having like an eject button. Just like a spy thing where you just come on, man, like stop it, no beep, press the button, roof opens up and just launches the person out of the car, right? Like, sure, maybe they'll have a parachute, maybe they won't. But I was like, I feel like that would be a really good thing to have in vehicles. Is that like?
So if you're a president, you sign into law of
I'd sign
a
into
forced
law.
eject, like what you have in like these F-18s.
Yep. With the ability to have the roof open or not open when the eject
Ooh.
button goes up.
Jesus
So it's
Christ!
So like how
Destroy the roof.
Yeah.
Goose died in Top Gun, basically.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
The question, wait, so like who's control the button?
President
Right?
Drew.
The driver,
signs
the
in the law.
driver.
Driver, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So like if I'm Ubering and like the guy who I'm driving is a shithead, I just
There you
press the
go.
button and just cool.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
And I see that.
All right.
Yep.
All right. If I were president, anybody that does the wave at his sporting events is sentenced
any
to
event, any
life
event.
in prison, 3 concurrent terms, 300 years, life in prison, serving 3 life sentences. There is no place in the United States for the wave. Anybody that thinks they can get away with it, they will be taken away immediately. We will have armed guards waiting for the moment that anybody dares stand up and start to raise their arms. It is not okay. It is going to be against the law. It's going to be my day one. My first, the first 100 days kind of bullshit that you get. Whether that's going to be day one. I'm signing that into law. Life sentence if you do the wave at a sporting event. It is no more.
So,
I like
So when the
wave.
police
What's
are
wrong
walking
with
up-
it?
yeah, when the police are walking up to them, they go, what if they're like, oh, we're not worthy, right? Like they try to get out of the waves world. Like,
the wave is such a distracting thing. It's so obnoxious because it's like, tell me you don't give a fuck or have no idea what's going on at this event without telling me that you have no idea what's going on at this event.
It's usually like if
Yep.
it's like if there's like a time in the game where like not much is happening, or let's say
Don't go to the game, Manny. I mean, it's literally every soccer game ever.
Oh, all right.
Uh-oh.
It's fine, Jamo. You can have a good time while serving life behind bars. You can do the wave. You can do the wave all you want. Oh, San Quentin, everybody's doing the wave. Just to see everybody, all the
wait,
inmates
wait,
of San Quentin.
Wait. Question. So like, how much time does it take for like the people who are on the field of baseball to like switch sides?
Yeah, there's a clock on it now. It's like 2
There's
minutes,
a
and
clock
the
on it
first
now,
pitch
yeah.
is thrown by after the
What?
2-minute mark.
Okay, what if like
Yep.
the wave happens in between?
There's a designated wave zone.
Because like the game isn't happening.
Yeah.
And I just it is, especially here in Chicago, it is such a hated thing. It's just
Is it
vitriolic
really?
amount of hatred towards the wave.
What? I
It's-
didn't know that.
So if I'm
Interesting.
sitting
Okay.
and if I'm watching the game, and then everybody in front of me and everyone around me goes, "Oh!" and then they do it 10 more times, and there's a game going on. I can't see. I paid a lot of money to be here. No, If you want to do that, That's a metaverse thing. If
So-
you want the wave simulator, maybe there's a simulator on Meta that you could have fun with.
So Nick, are you telling me that when people do the wave when you're at the game, what you'll do is you'll just stand up with them just to see over their heads and then sit back down as they get up to do the wave?
That's such bullshit,
you
Greg. The
won't?
Cubs won the World Series 6 years ago. How could they not have fun in the last 10 plus years? That is so fucking stupid.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's my first 100 days. That's not day number 1. You don't want to know what happens in the next 99. It's only going to get worse, I guess. Apparently, I mean that is a trend that is heading for the extreme. Radical stuff that I'll be doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? All right, Manny. Next one. I'm gonna give you each one more, and we're gonna move on.
Oh, sure.
One more?
Excellent.
One more.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see. I can't do it. If I were president, I might need to come back from me on this one. I did not expect like a second.
Oh, I got one. I got
Okay,
one.
all
I'm
right,
ready for
hit
it.
us with
All
it.
right, ready? So it's very near and dear to my heart, and I always bring it up when I get a chance to. So I'm type 1 diabetic, and if I was president, the one thing that I would do is Medicare, free Medicare for all. Like
Wait,
I
I'm
literally.
sorry. Are we doing serious answers?
I mean, I'll take it, man. I
This
never
is
said.
my second one is my serious answer. I got my pancreas is literally attached to me. I got the sensor, and at some point I'm gonna get the Luke hand, and then the robotic arms. I'm more machine than man, anyways. I'm a cyborg, right? Like
The first
I
cyborg
gotta
president
pay
of the
for it.
United States. It could be a big moment.
first cyborg president of the
The
United
glass,
States. That's right.
the glass,
Does-
the metal
does
glass
Biden-
ceiling is shattered.
Does Biden have like a metal hip or something? I don't know if he's got any metal in him.
I don't probably.
right? Like,
Oh,
but either
man.
way, no. That's my answer, man. Like it's just being in California, it's already pretty monetarily expensive, right, for pretty much
Yep.
anything. But just that added layer of like, oh yeah, here's like $14,000 a year to stay alive, right? Like, oh yeah, would be nice to have that, right? Like,
Oh, don't get me started on that. Okay, I got one. Except I'll go after Nick.
there we go. Put Nick on the spot here. Here we go. What's your second one? What is within the next 99 days of your presidency?
Okay. If I'm president, every insurrectionist will be shipped on the Titanic 2, and we'll have it drive into the largest iceberg ever created by man. We'll create a man-made iceberg, and we'll sink the ship, and they can swim to safety just a few hundred miles away if they can find the
Do you
land and
know
get
that,
there.
Like, if someone says there's an iceberg, like 80% of them will say there's no iceberg.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'll just like-
There's no iceberg. Radical iceberg
Exactly.
lies. We'll make them fill out ballots.
Yep. And then when they crash, they'll be like, "Who put this here?" Right? Like, God damn it! Like, they're like.
What's up? What's up, Will?
Okay.
I had the VA
Okay,
free
okay.
healthcare kind of sucks. I mean, free in America is, well, there's not a lot that's free that I feel like that, especially that's good in the United States. Thank you for your service, though, man. I didn't say that when I was with you, but salute to you. Anyways, if I were president, any insurrectionist, we'd have the Titanic 2 ship off, we'd drive it into an iceberg, and we'd say, "Happy swimming and good luck." And yeah, I'm not saying they would die. I'm not saying it would be that cold. The water would maybe you could throw in like one shark just for fun. Just like one, young great white shark, and yeah, go from there. I mean, it's white. Oh no, we lost Drew again. All right, we'll wait for Drew to come back. There's like all these different angles of us. You can see Manny, the side of Manny's face in the bottom where Drew's. You can see actually, you guys can check out my sweater, my Christmas sweater. It's Vader and Luke.
Well, I should bring my Christmas sweater. Where is it? Oh, it's here.
Oh, Manny's
so happy I found
grabbing his sweater. He'll be back.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, welcome to the reason why
We're gonna get Manny stripping on live cam
on
here.
live cam here. Yeah, I was.
mean,
Free
Well,
entertainment,
if-
folks.
If Amaranth's able to do it, then why can't I?
Yeah. Well, we
yeah.
have to put up a screen that says like changing into next dance outfit. Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Please clap. Please clap
That's
in the
super
chat.
cool. I like that. Yeah. No, it's
Yep.
good.
I saw that at like a thrift shop, and I'm like, well, I got invited to a ugly Christmas sweater party, so I gotta go. Like it's a match made in heaven.
Yep, you got to be the best ugliest sweater,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Like, or you got to wear the best ugliest sweater.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Please clap.
Okay, it's my turn. Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If I was president, I would get rid of the child tax credit and give a tax incentive to people who choose not to have kids. If I were to be less cruel, I would keep the child tax credit, but also give a major tax incentive to people who don't want kids.
To kind of piggyback off of that, honestly, Manny, I also think that there should be more, stricter in place laws about when, I don't think you should be able to get married until you've can legally drink. People are getting married too young, and people are deciding to have kids because of the romantic idea of having a family, not based on their capabilities as parents or if they can financially can afford it, or the relationship between the mother and father, which is so important for somebody, growing up, having a stable, parenthood around them. So yeah, I can get by that. I can get behind that for sure. He should get off Tinder. Yeah. Well, Manny, are you Tinder right now?
No.
By the way, guys, we'll talk about, actually, we're going to talk about the Tinder gods here in a bit. We're going to do X-Wing. So it's time to talk X-Wing. We all like to talk about X-Wing. So this is now it becomes a little bit of an X-Wing podcast, at least for the moment. So, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Boom, X-Wing time. All right. So, wow, lots to talk about. Anyway, let's start off with the Nickel City X-Wing Draft League. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows, I am a captain of the team captain of the Tinder Gods. We are in our last week, and we are just a couple of wins away from making the playoffs. So if we win this week, we would make it second place overall in our division, and we would play for a win and in for the final for the league. So really proud of my team. Anybody that's watching, Will, if you're still here, I'm really proud of you guys. It's been so much fun. It's been an honor to be team captain of the Tinder Gods. We've really embraced that identity and had a ton of fun with it. I think everyone's a little jealous of how much fun we have. Manny is actually playing in the league as well. He's on the Cork Confederacy of Independent Systems. And unfortunately, they're rebuilding. I think I'm just gonna say they're retooling for next season. They're not doing as well as us, but
I'm doing great.
Yeah, if Scoot's saying he's had an incredibly fun time. Indeed.
I have not been helping.
We're all fine here. We're all fine. How are you?
I could be doing a lot better.
I have in the background for you guys one of our Windy City Trials games. You guys can watch a game of X-Wing while we talk about X-Wing, happening in the background. Yeah.
Excellent.
We got a Matt Carey versus John Shannon game. So, all right. So the state of X-Wing. The last time I was here doing this cast with Drew, we had Vince on, and we were talking about inventing and having a lot of ideas about X-Wing. And I'm really happy to say that the X-Wing is a lot better now than it was when it really premiered at Adepticon. It's far less problematic with balancing. There's not as many auto includes as there used to be, and pace of play and length of game and the evolution of a game has improved. So, the average games usually went 3 to 4 rounds max. Now, on average, you're seeing between 6 and 8 rounds. You're seeing the distribution of objectives has improved. You'll still see games snowball a little bit in salvage, but less so. It doesn't happen in scramble as much anymore. Chance is chance. That's always the one that's always seems pretty close. Assault, I think, is the one that I personally still have some problems with. Anything with 5 objectives, I think, can be a really difficult there's 2 counters to your list sometimes. Is you have a list that's really good for certain objectives, and you have a list that's really good against certain lists. So when you go up against a list that's really good at an objective, and you're playing that objective that isn't good for your list, it's like you're losing twice, or you could lose really hard because it's all going against you. So my idea would be maybe shifting 5 objectives to 3 just across the board. So salvage goes to 3 crates and assault goes to 3, but it's really not that dire for me. But I'm curious what you guys think. Drew, you haven't played for a while, so I'll send it over to Manny.
Yeah.
He plays with me, and then Drew from the outside, kind of looking to get back into the game. I'd love to hear your thoughts as
Sure.
well. So go ahead, Manny.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, yeah. So let's hear words with the guy who sideslipped a lad off the mat. But yeah, I mean, other to add on next point, I think adding half points to all the game modes would definitely be a bit better. Like, give me a reason to shoot at a target that I know I'm not going to kill, but I can still get some points out of, right? So, like, if I see like a Boba Fett, all right, like as of right now, I know that like, hey, I'm probably not going to kill him, so I'm just going to ignore him, all right? And it feels bad because if you ignore Boba, then like,
That's what he wants, right?
no,
That's what he wants,
right?
yeah.
So like, either you ignore him or you go all in. And granted, if you do have points in every game mode, and you still keep the score to like 20, then it's gonna be over pretty quickly. So like, I would say probably increase the threshold to win.
Yeah.
I like from 20 to.
It seems like the easiest
30.
way to rectify that change to kind of accommodate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, I want to see lower initiative ships kind of make a comeback. I feel nowadays you just see pilots who are 4 and higher. The only low initiative ships that I see right now are the 2 new arcs.
I mean,
because-
I3 is one of them. Then otherwise you have
Yeah.
I4.
I4. They're
The A-Wings will be more played, like Merle and stuff. Roby, because they're 3.
Roby, yeah.
like the arcs. They're cheap and they have so much health in where a low initiative is not that much of a hindrance, I feel. But like, let's say an A-Wing, or like, let's say a T-70 at initiative 2, it's like, that's just like prime target to just focus fire and take off the board.
Yep.
Like, initiative killing is so much more
It's so powerful.
prevalent.
It is very
in-
powerful.
In
Yeah.
2.5 now.
I mean, so you're seeing Matt in this game that we have up. Matt was playing Ray at our tournament, and Ray is such a prime example of an initiative killer that really feels bad, because she just turns 5 hits fairly easily if she has a focus, and can just one shot your ships off the board. And so there's something to be said about loadout value for lower initiative ships. Perhaps there's something that makes them more competitive. They can take a little bit more loadout, because I mean, paying for things that get one-shotted or just get initiative killed and consistently. I mean, one thing you could do is roll better or fly better, but sometimes there's a lot of jousting that still happens in the game, especially with where objectives are. You know that everyone's going to be trying to fly towards them because they want to grab them or be near them. So that kind of encourages some sort of joust, whether it's a straight-on joust like a classic Yorktown, as Nickel City calls it, or if it's some sort of everybody kind of clashing together. But at a certain point, you always see the kind of the web kind of just tighten and meet in the middle. It's just the way the game is. So ships that can double mod and ships that can initiative kill are, the stonks are high. They're so valuable.
Yeah.
Poe can kind of hit and run you, and then you just can't hit him again because he's running away the rest of the game. The only I4 or lower pilot that I think is super competitive with the aces or the higher initiative pilots is Grievous. Because Grievous has the ability to discard damage cards, right? The Impervium, crit, discard,
and survivable.
And the Soulless one rerolls the linked actions on top of outmaneuver, because that's just what you staple on him right now. He is much more menacing and much more frustrating to kill than other pilots at I4 or lower. So I agree with that. I think it's really hard to even have an answer for that, though. I don't know what the answer is for that.
I'm trying to think. Okay, let's say you take a initiative 2 A-Wing, right? And you give it like, I don't know, 16 loadouts and handle like a good amount of like slots for her mods. Like what upgrades will you need to have in order to make it worth the taking over like a high initiative X-Wing? Other than like yes, it's cheaper, but like, is that enough to run the risk of it just blowing up? Even if like, let's say you have elusive, you have
Crockets. right? Shield
Rockets.
upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. Like you literally have all the upgrades to like make it more survivable, but at the end of the day, it's still so susceptible to focus fire. Just because, like, yeah, you could take a focus every round, but like that's one focus that might help you with one attack,
Yeah.
and then everything else you're just unmodded.
At the end of the day, there's still initiative 2, right? It doesn't matter how many upgrades you slap on them, they're still
Yeah.
gonna get initiative killed.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
And the other thing that I think is still this is something that's more anecdotal is I do appreciate the range 0 when you bump, you take the red focus opportunity to red calculate. I do not appreciate the range 0 shooting. I don't think I'm ever really going to get on board with it. I think there are ways to make it less NPE for the RNG aspect, like not being able to suffer crits when at range 0. Like having salvage and then losing a salvage from an unmodded range 0 shot is just so infuriating. And then having ships get killed unmodded at range 0. I just think that they need to maybe look at that again, because it just, attack dice are really good. It's a 50% chance you just roll the natural. It's a little too good, I think, to have range 0. I mean, hey, if you're running up a ghost, a decimate, a 3 or 4 attack dice ship, that's still 3 or 4 attack dice that you're rolling, right? That's a lot. So, yeah, that's just, that's my personal beef with it. Again, I don't have no issues with taking the red focus. I think that's super fair. But yeah, I'm not into it. But that's a preference for me. Drew, so my question to you is, you've taken off like 6 or 7 months. You weren't able to make the Golden State qualifier because you were busy, which is I'm not guilting you. I'm just saying that, pointing that out.
no, of course.
So, what have you noticed? And are you looking forward to getting back and playing it?
Yes, I am absolutely looking forward to getting back into X-Wing. I actually still have all my stuff, and I even updated it with like the new points like a couple weeks ago, but I just haven't had a chance to play.
Got it.
I really feel like, so Manny, I too have been like kind of focused on Resistance, but I really don't like flying Falcons.
Oh,
and
same.
I'm
That's like the
struggling.
only viable. Actually,
Yeah.
not. I mean, like,
Well,
as
not
right
quite.
now, it feels as if like it's the only viable
Yep.
strategy. I know there's new pilots. I don't think they've been properly tested yet. Like a 4.270 might change stuff up. But right now, it's like if you want to like at least really go for top cut, it definitely feels as if you need to fly Ray along with Poe, and then the random is really up to you. So like high initiative I5 T70 9 nub, which is basically like a smaller Poe.
Yep, exactly. But I do want to agree wholeheartedly, Manny, with you. You're talking about earlier. Half points across all of them. I got to be honest with you. I thought with the new update that just happened, I can't remember when points came out. Fairly.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, yeah. I thought that they had added half points into all the scenarios, and I think that can help stop some of the snowballing that we're seeing. But I also
the
grew up
points
playing...
fortressing as well is a problem.
The points fortressing, yeah. I also grew up playing the original TIE Fighter simulator game, and there's some scenarios where like, you got to kill, the 3 points, right, or like, on the ship or whatever. And I just figured like, if there's just 3 objectives across all of the scenarios that use objectives, I think the games would be quite close, especially with half points. It'd be interesting to see people test them and see how close they are or how much they snowball, right? Because some lists do better than others, right, with those types of scenarios.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Ray, take away her talent slot.
Please.
I love Ray.
And Vader.
Take away.
And Vader's, yeah. Yep.
Ray's ability with like heroic, in where.
Yeah, we just saw Matt do it a second ago on.
Yeah, well, like
on the stream, yeah.
Exactly. There literally is no bad result. If you roll an evade, cool. If you roll an eyeball, force. If you roll a blank, heroic. Oh, I now have 2 of them.
You want her to. I think you want her to roll. You want her to roll eyeballs, because for a defense.
Because you spend force.
Yeah, because she can't add. Well, she can add a blank with Finn, but she can't heroic when she rolls a natural eyeball, right, on defense. So it's more decisions she has to make.
But she's only rolling 1 evade, right? So it's just like you always.
The odds of a blank is pretty high. Yeah, exactly.
The odds of a blank is really high. Yeah.
Like every time Ray defends, she's gonna be evading a shot, like guaranteed, unless you're just out of force.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just feels bad. I just don't think there should be like a guaranteed evade every round.
Yep.
Like I don't care if it's like only a 1 evade ship or like.
And someone might say, well, hey, she's 8 points, but it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
She's still worth 8 points if you take away her talent slot.
What's weird too is I come from like 1.0 X-Wing. There was a card C-3PO that was you roll the green dice. If you guess what you're gonna roll, you get an evade. And it was so weird because it was only used with a Falcon, and the Falcon was like the best ship because you'd always get an evade result, right? And I know with Heroic, obviously, you know, you bank on the blank to get a second one in 2.0 for the reroll, but you're almost every time you're almost guaranteed to get one evade. And it's just like, I don't know if that's something that we want in a game like this, right? You know, we have dice for a reason, right? Like, you know.
Yeah. Manny, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
So
okay, it's that game. All right, let's go.
So some new content came out, including Hot Shots and Aces 2, which features a lat pilot named Sicko Initiative 2.
Yep.
Who can side slip. He's a sicko. He's like, check this sick move out, man.
Check this sick move out,
So Manny was drafted into Republic. Buddha just picked a faction that Manny doesn't play, so that didn't work out. But Manny owns Republic, but he doesn't really play it. So he decided that he was gonna play. He's inspired by what he saw at our tournament, and he's like, I'm gonna bring Sicko. And Manny put the lat in between a rock on his left and the board edge on the right, and decided to assign sickening maneuvers because he didn't read the card. And I was watching this game live as it was happening on Discord, and I was muted, and I was laughing so hard because Manny realized that he had to side slip him off the board after he dialed it too hard.
It's
not optional. Yeah, it's not optional. No.
Manny, why didn't you read the card?
They should really underline, bold, the word must in that card. Granted, the fault's all mine. My self-kill would be helpful.
Oh my God.
I love how, so like, I was streaming that game into the 10 people who are in like the voice chat, and I would have loved to see the face. I can only imagine like the faces of everyone when they literally see my screen. I'm like moving the camera to the condition card to read it, and they're like,
you barely read it. You didn't even read it.
It's like, you dense motherfucker. Yep. It's like, well, there you go. I see the consequences of your own actions.
Oh my God, I was laughing so hard, and after the game ends, Manny's like, "All right, well, bye everybody," and I'm like, Manny, why didn't you read the card? why you're killing me, man? That was a really funny game. That was such a funny game because like Manny would roll hit crit and he'd be like, I only rolled a crit, and his opponent would be like, nah bro, you rolled hit crit. He'd be like, I don't think so, and he's like, it says right there, it's literally, that's the results you just rolled, and Manny's like, oh, okay. And it's just such a flex because Manny doesn't even know what's going on, and he's killing ships. Like, I think you got to kill when you did that. And you were arguing with your opponent about it. Like, you're like, I don't think I killed you.
I'm that guy who really wants to play fair. I don't want that. I don't want the help. I don't want.
I commend you for it, man. I commend you for it. We need more people like you in this game.
Please clap. F's in the chat. There's me on stream shaking Matt's hand. I never washed that hand, by the way, after I shook his hand.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I have a bad habit of like scheduling my draft games like late on a Sunday night, and Sundays is when I usually like go on my 5-mile run. So by the time I get back to my apartment, I'm just like so fucking checked out. Where alright, play next week with like literally only half a brain.
That's it. That's you know what, man, as a team, if I were team captain and I found out that this was the state that my player was in when he played, there would be a I don't think I'd send you to the minors, but there would be a talk.
Yeah.
I'd be like, listen.
I can't blame you.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's time. No one wants to play.
So choose the time when no one wants to play. That's smart. Yeah. It's all big brain moves here, man. It's mind games.
I I feel so bad too. I gotta be Manny. If you wanna see that play out multiple times, there were multiple games that I came on to play for Nick's league, right on stream, where I literally got done working. I work for USPS. I got done working like an 8 to 9 hour shift, and then jumped straight in to play X-Wing. It's just so bad, dude.
PSA to people that play on stream, guys. If you're not in the state of mind, you don't. First of all, you don't have to play on stream. I appreciate you, Drew, and everyone else that like is like, you know what? As long as I can make it, even if it's just by the, you know, just the skin of my teeth, you know, like just by a minute, I'll play. But I mean, don't, if you're in a bad state of mind, you know, X-Wing is such a tilting game, especially on TTS. You know, if you're in a bad state of mind, I just recommend not doing it. It's tough. I've been there before. It's, you know, I absolutely respect and appreciate the commitment. It's like, no, you know, I haven't played in a while. I said I would, whatever. My only thing is, if you're gonna bail, just don't bail 5 minutes before the stream.
5 minutes before. Yep.
You know, otherwise I can't be really that mad about it. It's, you know, it happens. There are plenty of people that are willing to play on stream. Sometimes it takes a little while to find one, but we've always been okay. It hasn't been that big of a deal. The most awkward time was when I set up to stream a Kyber Cup game, and the opponent just forgot that he had a game scheduled, that he reached out to me to stream, which was really funny. And he was just playing like Minecraft. It like told on Discord, you know, it says what you're playing. It's like, just, you know, just sat there for 20 minutes making awkward small talk with the opponent, and we just called it. It's like, well, I guess you get the win. Just forgot. So
yeah, I know
that's awkward. I guess don't do that. But yeah, so I think that's gonna. I mean, before we wrap up this X-Wing segment, I'm gonna pick a call on each of you. Think of a pilot from Hot Shots and Aces 2 that you are most excited about playing with the next, you know, coming weeks, and maybe even bringing to a tournament. For me, I'm probably gonna stick with Rebels. I think Corrin. If I had to pick two, it'd be Corrin and Wes. But Corrin is a really cool and competitive way at 5 points to be able to give somebody else a double modded shot, because Rebels, I think, are struggling just a little bit, not being able to catch up with the absurd damage race that we're getting right now. So Corrin, Manny.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to say. It's like just only 4 points, and Flappy Snappy is kind of back.
Which one is that? Which one is that again, though?
T70 pilot.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like, what do they do? What do they do?
Oh, like her ability's like it's
not bad. You get to reroll defense die if the attacker's damaged.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like it's a meh ability, but like
yeah,
always like the chance like for flying for 4 points, right? So I kind of like to test out with Flappy Snappy, since now he can fly in a squadron that's like all T70s, but. All right, so I'm not gonna say, but probably Lando. Lando's definitely the most interesting.
Yeah,
that ability is insane.
Yeah. That ability is ridiculous.
Him over Poe. I like trying to imagine, like, okay, he's 8 points. Maybe put him with, I don't know.
It has to be like A-wings.
It's got to be A's, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's effective in a 3-ship list though, Manny, because if you do Trigger Happy, Flyboy, Poe, and Lando, that's 15 points. You can fit like Zor. You can fit like Zori. It's a terrible list because his ability.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
His ability is calling for 2 to 3 ships.
2 to 3 ships, yeah.
So like, you only bring him for his ability, right? Otherwise, why are you not playing Rey? If you're
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, so like a bunch of A-wings.
What's up, Blue? How are you, man?
Load them with rockets and I guess just see what happens.
It's been all quiet on the Western chat for a while, but Lou the Lunatic is here.
One upgrade that allows you to do like a blue maneuver and takes care of all of your stress tokens. I think that might be a bit of a staple on him.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Corsella,
with an ability like that. Yeah.
Don't worry. Tecumseh's here. Tecumseh's here. It's about to get real crazy. I'm going to be put on the spot here soon.
Go down.
Go Team Havoc. I'm not going to be saying that much longer, but I'm hoping you guys can pull out one more win against Payback so that Tinder Gods make the playoffs.
So walk
What's
me
up,
through
Colfax? How are you, man?
So the pilot that I was going to choose was the T-70 that can fire the torpedo.
Oh yeah, that's another ground. I forgot about her. Yeah.
Yeah, I asked you what the ability was because I don't remember her name, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, that sounds like it would be interesting, right? Like,
Oh, she's able to like shoot a ATP out the butt at range
Range 1 to 2.
2. Yeah, like
yeah,
you basically convert your like whatever arc the torpedo or
Yeah.
missile slot has.
It's like a
into a 1 to 2 arc.
Tomax. I think
Unless
Tomax
it's like
Bren
a
does that,
bullseye.
right? The bomber pilot Drew, isn't
Tomax,
it?
yeah,
It's
yep,
Tomax that does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's
interesting.
interesting. I haven't seen that get. I mean, very small sample size. Haven't seen that pilot get played yet.
You just do like a flyby and like, hey, hold this ATP for me.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because the T-70, despite the fact that it can turn around, it has all, you got the Talon rule, you got the 4K. I'm and maybe this is just me playing. I've always struggled to like get them into position, and I'm just wondering like with a pilot like that, I was like, I could just go where I was going before and then
Yep.
get the shot off in the back, right? Like.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So I think she has like 12 loadout,
Yeah.
enough to take Protorps.
I think you do APT and heroic
You
and
do
something
APT.
else.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
that's also what I'm thinking. But like then after that first shot, she
Could be
just
good with Lando.
basically- That's true.
Maybe. Yeah.
You make the most out of that one shot, but then after that, she's just basically a generic T-70. It's
Right.
You could
literally
do-
the
And that's the
definition
You
of
could do
a one-trick
Lando.
pony.
You could do Lando. What's the name of this pilot again?
Doza or like Vanessa
Ooh.
Doza?
Taza,
Or is-
Doza.
Yeah.
That's 13 points, right?
In terms of loadouts, I believe.
No, I mean,
It's over 13.
8 points for Lando, 5 points for this T-70 pilot, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
that's 13, and then you could do 2 of the cheaper A-wings, and or no, that would be. I'm trying to think how you could fit BB-8 in this list because it would be 13 plus 1 cheaper A-wing, 16, and then you could do a 4-pointer, or you could do. There aren't two 2-point options, but there's some wiggle room there. You could plug in 2 or 3 other ships around Lando. So is that a good choice? I'm curious to see what the synergy is with that pilot, that T-70 pilot, because I think the ability is interesting. I think it's hyper predictable, which isn't always a bad
Oh,
thing.
it is.
Right.
It's like, well, there's really no way to stop it, right? Like, how are you gonna stop a T-70 from just flying past you?
Yeah.
And, like,
Tecumseh
having,
saying,
like, a
Manny,
wide
great
arc.
performance at the 312 event. Congrats.
Oh.
you.
Yeah, and Manny
Yeah.
missed the first
helped him.
game to watch the
Yeah.
World Cup, so
Yeah,
it
I missed
worked
the
out.
first game to watch USA against Holland, and sad about the result, but you know what? I'm gonna root for the Dutch. They're too nice to hate, and also they're the only team who I actually like.
Yeah.
Still in the World Cup.
Lando, Lulo, Tally, and Zay. So Lou, I think that's interesting. The problem is it would struggle in chance and salvage and probably assault, right? When I try to list build, I have to think about like unless it's Han job, which is just nuke things. It's like
Yep.
can this list win in 2 of the reliably win in 2 of the 4 scenarios?
Also, A-Wings hate salvage.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
like,
especially
yeah.
Lulo. Lulo is not going to want to pick one of those up because all you can do is
Yep.
focus rotate, and then you're only 2 agility, and the RNG with crits is even worse.
Yep.
And you only have like 4 health in total. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not gonna fly.
Totally. Well, so we got you, Manny. Now, Drew, what are you thinking for someone you're looking forward to from this Hot Shots
Oh,
phases?
I'm so sorry. So you were talking to the chat while Manny and I were talking about. I
Pick
was
another
just
one,
on
I guess,
Yasby.
or
Yeah.
remind me.
No, yeah, we were talking about. Oh my God, I just had her. I'm pulling her up. The T-70 that can shoot behind her. Vanessa. Vanessa. Yeah.
Yep.
Doza. Yeah. That was my pilot, but I also feel silly because I didn't actually know, Manny, that you were such a resistance enthusiast. That's kind of
Yep.
been my trying to be bread and butter with the new version of the game. So it's fun to bounce things off of you. Yeah, we had a good discussion
Yeah.
about that.
I
Yeah.
just love T-70s. I love how they look. I love how they upgraded like the look of the X-wing. I just
Yep.
really like them. Yeah, might not be the best faction, but it's my preferred ship. I like to fly them.
Cool.
And
Totally.
Nick knows how much I frequently fly the T-70.
Yeah,
Yeah, I fly Poe.
so unless it's Lou the lunatic in our game, man, Lou, so typically my experience against the T-70 is they're always going to roll a paint on their, usually it's just 2 paint or it's a paint and a blank. There's enough to keep them from dying fast, but lose dice with Zay. He blanked out 4 times with that poor T-70 pilot. It didn't have heroic. It was, I felt very bad for Zay Versio.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. So, you know, just when you think you could get away with not having heroic, it haunts you, man.
Yeah.
That was
Every
rough.
time.
That was
I took
quite a dice
Kelly
game.
with no heroic in the 3-1-2 competition, and
Yeah, I looked at you and you blanked out. You looked at me. It's like she doesn't have heroic. I'm like, no.
Like, say it, you
Say it.
bastard.
Yep.
I don't.
Say it.
Yeah.
Every time Ray rolls heroic, I just say insurance fraud.
So Tecumseh saying he had like 5 heroic opportunities, he totally did. But speaking as a rebel player who just is just a blank out is a blank out. It's just nice to see that other people get to deal with the pain that I have to deal with consistently.
Do you get like the World War or the Vietnam flashbacks of like Wedge dying every
Just
time?
Luke taking a hit crit from a proton torpedo immediately. Yeah. So, yeah, you get what you get. That's what Rebels. Colfax knows. Colfax plays B wings, man. It's like Braylon rerolls blanks in the blanks. I mean, it's just like this is what we deal with. Aaron Kraken getting one-shotted before he has an opportunity to use his ability. I mean, there's all these different things. So it's just nice to see other people have, you know, they get to be reminded of what it's like to be a Rebel player these days.
Right.
And just dice in general, right? I mean, Empire blanking out, anybody blanking out, it's bad, but it feels extra sad when your 6-point ships, your X-wings are into the hole and taking face-up damage cards after 1 shot. So that's a bummer. All right, guys. So the next segment, before we talk about Andor and kind of wrap up the show, we did ask for some videos to react to. So in our Discord, there is a reaction links section. You can post a YouTube video link. It needs to be less than 2 minutes, ideally. And we got a few. They are both Star Wars and not Star Wars related, and then one of them is topical but controversial. So, you know, just a heads up on that one, folks. It involves Kanye. So
oh God, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all right. So we are going to go back to our reaction screen here, and let's pull up Watch Together, guys. Make sure you have that pulled up so we can all watch it together. So this first one is Boba Fett gets his armor back from the Mandalorian. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. So ridiculous.
Oh my God, so over the top.
Like, he is pretty thick there. I mean, he's a big boy.
He doesn't
overweight. The armor doesn't even fit him anymore.
I mean, this is just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The ultimate dad bod.
Honestly, though, it's still badass as fuck,
so
right?
cool.
It's still so good.
I'm willing to excuse it.
Oh my God, the choreography is pretty solid.
Yep. The music too.
There's so many of them, and then they start running away. Now they run away?
Back to the ship. Back to the ship.
And it's such a muted, like, back to the ship.
Now you finally get the little introduction of the Book of Boba Fett theme as well.
Yep. I love how we jumped at the end there. That's great.
Those look like those are the first order transports.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost.
Pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
The precursor.
Yep.
And then he shoots it down, right? Does he shoot one of them down or both? I can't remember.
One, and then the other, then like the one that shot collides into the one that's below.
It's so, I mean, I forgot how over the top this scene was.
And the one that he hits is not the one he was going for.
Yeah, same. Okay. I was a bit confused about that for a second.
Yeah, that's a choice for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna say it, right? Is Mando gonna say it?
My
to him?
name is Boba
Is it gonna
Fett.
end?
Nice shot, yeah. Nice shot, kid. That was I was aiming for the other one.
I was aiming for the other one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Consistency.
Man, I should
so-
I'm probably due for a Mando rewatch here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But with
me too.
Andor, we'll get into Andor. Man, it's gonna be tough because I'm just so high on Andor right now.
Yeah, dude. Oh, Nick, we haven't talked about it. Oh boy, we gotta talk, man. I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely. All right, this next one, a keyboard that is only P. This is a YouTube short from oh, hold on, let me restart it. There we go. This is from Matt Carey. If it plays. Oh no, not the 70s show. Let me go back.
You have until I cut you off to sell me a keyboard that is all P's.
Sam, don't you feel like in our modern world, we are sometimes bombarded with choices? Wouldn't it be easier, wouldn't it be nicer even, to have a curated selection just for you? And that's what the keyboard offers you. It is only the best letter of the alphabet.
I have a follow-up
There's a
question for you.
giant
Why
P.
is P the best letter of the alphabet?
It's perfect.
Oh!
What is a lowercase b, but an upside down p? What is a lowercase q, but a moved around p? What is a lowercase d? The list goes on.
Reka, follow-up question?
Yes, if I wanted to write a simple email on this keyboard, something that said, "Hi, did you get the memo? Reka," what would that look like?
That's pretty good.
I could ever do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's pretty good. This is, I believe this is from that 70s show. I never watched this
Yes.
show.
Oh, I watched this, Nick, when he first posted it. Oh, it's so funny.
All right,
Anyone
let's
excited
do
about
it.
the remake? I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know. You know, it seems like bad things are always happening to me. Like I have bad luck.
Big Rebel player.
Yep.
Son,
Every other player.
you don't have bad luck. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
Oh my god.
That was me played sicko on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely Manny. Oh my gosh. All right, here's a good one from Andor. Spoiler alert. If you have not watched Andor, this is a scene from
this
Andor.
is so good.
This is probably one of the greatest pieces of writing we've got in Star Wars. Probably the greatest piece
In
of
a
writing
long
we've
time.
got in Star Wars.
Yep.
Top 5, maybe.
Yep.
Here we go. Starting from
Better
the top.
It's better than Dave
Oh,
Filoni's
yeah,
one
this
from
is great.
Rebels. Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go.
Calm. Kindness, kinship. Love.
He's still going strong, man. He's like in his late 70s.
I've given
Yeah.
up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do.
So good.
My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight, has set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I looked down, there was no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my...
I'm going to pause it really quick. Do you guys...
No! In the middle of it? Come on!
So the one thing is for copyright reasons. I'm going to pause it really quick.
Sure.
Don't worry. I know. I don't want to pause it, but I'm going to. So my thought that just popped in my head is: do you think that there was some sort of agreement that Skarsgård had? It was like, look, I'll do your Star Wars show, but I need to have my monologue scene.
I don't think so. I'm gonna jump in here.
Monologue seats in the
Yeah.
In the series.
Nothing like
Andy
this, man.
Serkis, Him.
There's nothing like this though. This is so
There's mom. We'll get 'em.
special.
This is
Yeah,
the best.
we'll get onto it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Continuing on.
Sure.
I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see.
Great line.
Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
The sweat on his brow. He's like, oh shit.
You'll stay with me, Lonnie.
All the heroes I can get.
I need all the heroes I can get.
And then he calls him a hero too after he's
Yeah.
like, what do you sacrifice, right? Like,
Oh god, I'm gonna pause that one real quick.
Yeah, well.
Oh boy. Anyways,
oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go back to
Oh.
Skarsgård real quick.
Yep.
The Kanye speech, agreed. It was a good speech, Manny.
Oh.
So there's something to be said about the pauses in between his sentences and how long he gives
yeah.
himself in his pauses.
Yep.
It has so much more
It's
weight.
a perfect amount of time between sentences.
I've given up all chance at inner
It
peace.
looks
I
like a
made my mind
character
sunless space.
who is thinking, right? Who's like not knowing what they're gonna say, but still talking about it.
They're so lucky they got him, man, in the
Wake
show.
up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do.
That's good stuff.
My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight.
This is a great kind of expose into why. You know, you see a lot of the how of what he's doing, but like, the inner struggle and just like the little bit of vulnerability that he has, because he doesn't seem that vulnerable for a decent part of the show, right? He's just kind of running things and pulling strings, and he's just like, we need this, I need this. He's talking to Mon Mothma. He's like, I need more money. But this moment when he kind of opens up to one of his informants, right? Which
Step
you
down
like
a path from which there's no escape.
He doesn't need to open up to his informant.
Savior against
But he
injustice
did.
without contemplating the cost. And by the time I looked down, there was no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice?
I don't want to talk over
Condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. Now, what do I sacrifice? Everything!
That's good.
The echo at the end too.
Everything. I know.
It's a testament to Tony Gilroy, right? Like, we'll get into this with Andor, but they did extensive reshoots on Rogue One after bringing Tony back in, bringing him into the film, as I think he was an executive producer, or writer. I don't know, but like seeing Andor and how Tony Gilroy is all Andor. This is him. You can see it in Rogue One, and like this is. Yeah, man, it's some of the best storytelling I've seen in a long time.
I'm over here thinking Andor is going to be a ragtag team of K2SO and Andor pulling side quests and finding MacGuffins, and then we get this, and I'm still processing it because it is such a twist. I think that nobody was expecting.
Yep.
This is the kind of guys. If Solo was this kind of vibe, I'm all in. I'm talking it up all day. But
also, used to the Empire just be absolutely cruel. Like
oh my god,
is
you're right.
Well, how about the duality of whatever it takes for the greater good, right? The rebels' cause for the greater good, making sacrifices, having people be killed intentionally.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
That line is like oppression breeds rebellion, or like. Yeah, like that.
Oh, Andor was absolutely a dark character. He's much more fleshed out, which I think we definitely appreciate in this show. But the beginning of Rogue One, he kills an informant in the first 15 minutes of that movie.
Not even 15 minutes, like less than 5. Literally the first time we see him, he shoots
on the ring of Catherine. Yeah. I mean, it's I love how Andor and Rogue One set the tone very early. It's like, this is the movie you're getting, and it's going to be a ride, because it's like, this is going to be dark. It's going to deal with things that are not so hunky-dory, epic, and all's well that ends well, happy ending stuff that we've gotten in previous content, Star Wars or not, right? It's just kind of taking, I think this is kind of a result of more modern cinema, without sounding super pretentious, of just having stories that involve more disappointing endings and more sacrifice and more death, because people realize that there's a much more there's a bigger ripple effect on people when you take away their favorite characters, but you do it in a way that there is like a finish line, but it's not just, you're not just going to cross it. It's not just going to be like, super easy, barely an inconvenience, like, Rise of Skywalker, right? No, it's like, you're going to have to deal with stuff that's very challenging, that's really dark, and that's life. That is the way this shit goes, and it's much more believable. It's being human. It's very believable, and that's what I love about Andor, and Rogue One flirted with that a lot as well.
Yeah.
So that's my rant. Let's content warning. This is the last one. This is it. I understand this is a difficult video to watch, but it is ridiculous, and there's a lot for us to say about it. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but just a heads up, guys, that we are about to react to Kanye West, or I won't call him Ye. I don't know. He doesn't deserve to be called what we want to call.
He
what he wants
deserve
to
call
call
anything. Oh my god.
That's right.
Will it even play? It's like it gets
That's right.
taken down in the middle.
That's
of
right.
this video.
You're not
There we go.
Hitler. You're not
Yeah,
a Nazi.
right.
You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also.
Oh my God.
I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Especially Hitler. Look at that picture, man. That is.
Oh God.
He had a baby with Kim Kardashian, man.
Holy
What do I mean? Like,
Oh, the
okay,
Tim
so how
Pool
about,
thing.
Are you leaving?
It just leaves.
Are you afraid of the press?
He's
gone.
Oh my God. The only time I'm ever going to engage with the New York Post is going to be this moment.
Yeah.
You know how you said that Jared Leto is the one is one person who
If
just,
they
like, dropped
got in a
dead
car
and
crash,
believe- yeah,
That's
that
too
you
bad.
believe like, wow, nothing of value was lost. Yeah, that's Kanye for me.
Alex Jones should be in prison, and it is absolutely incredible that he's the voice of
He is still
reason
back.
in that moment there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, you could make an argument. It's like, oh, it's mental illness. Yes, but like lots of people have a mental illness. They don't suddenly just turn into Nazis.
Start speaking about this like that's not.
Exactly. It's like if he is actually making a good faith attempt on trying to get better, like okay, fine, but he's not, right? He is unwilling to learn. He has actually said that he has not taken his medication. He is showing no reason why I should trust him or why I should believe that he wants to change.
Lots went back here, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I know a lost cause, or like I like to think I know a lost cause when I see one, and I think I'm seeing one right now. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not willing to put my money on it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
Can't really come back from this.
no, I don't even know what to say. He seems pretty willing to go to prison, Kanye.
Yeah, right?
So maybe he just belongs in prison.
I mean, Nick, you talked about this earlier, right? Like, at some point, you have to be a decent person to, like, try to do, you want to, right? The whole point of being in the political spotlight is to help people. This doesn't help people. That's the opposite of helping people.
No, it's
Holy
fanfare.
crap.
It's a waste of money. It's fanfare.
And
yeah, it's dangerous
To the
because
worst
there's
type of people.
way too many people are share similar belief systems. So.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's because he has such a massive influence, and the people who are under this type of influence, who believe this type of shit, are usually the ones that are armed, who are all like gun ho, and it's just like it's maybe harsh, but if your presence, if your existence is putting others in danger, then perhaps you are just better off in the ground.
Wow. Oh, damn. I think you were gonna go there, but I was like, woo.
Straight up. I mean,
no, I mean it's if you look at the Adolf Hitler, that's going to be the argument that almost every reasonable person's going to make is like, well, they're better off dead because
They're better off dead. Yeah, just not.
But you know, let's
and like so many psychos, it is inherently scary.
Yeah, he is
right.
A psychotic human being.
What even medical condition does he have?
He's a bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder. Yeah, and like, but it also. It gives
any of this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an insult. It's an insult to anybody that has bipolar disorder. Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Same thing with when people say, "Oh, well, you know, all the mass shootings is a mental health thing." It's like, what about the people that deal with mental health all the time and aren't killing people? Like, come on, let's not scapegoat these things. It's much more specific.
Exactly.
Anyways, we're gonna take a big pivot here, and we're gonna circle all the way back to Andor. So we're gonna flush all of that down the toilet. I cannot believe that we've had the last couple of weeks that we've had, going from the midterms to where we're at right now. It has just been such a distraction and so stressful, and I'm ready to just not think about it for a while and hopefully move on. So let's do that. So Andor, so guys, would you say that this is, if you had to pick, I don't want to make the comparison apples to apples, but if you had to pick between which one's got to go and one stays, between the Mandalorian and Andor, if you had to make the decision, Is it an easy decision to make? What are you picking?
Are we talking about like in terms of just the quality overall, or like
If you could only take one on a deserted island, somehow you could watch it. You had access to being able to watch a show on a deserted island.
Right.
What show would you watch all the time? Would it be The Mandalorian? And let's just say pick your favorite season from The Mandalorian, because we have not gotten 2 seasons of Andor yet. So what would you pick?
Gotcha.
I got my answer. Should I go? Wait, what do you think about it?
Tecumseh sacrifices himself. That's fair.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Go.
Sure. So I come from a film background, right? I got a degree in directing motion pictures and television, and so watching Andor, there are so many subtleties in it. It is something that I would absolutely, if one of my friends walked up to me and was like, I've never seen Star Wars, right? I don't even know who Darth Vader is or whatever, right? Like, show me. What is Star Wars? I would start them with Andor, because it is it's very grounded. It's super grounded, but at the same time, there are fantasy elements of it, or in it, and it's just I would pick Andor. I would pick Andor over Mando. Like, Mando is definitely for the kid that grew up with Star Wars, but I think that, like, this is The Sopranos, right? Like, this is for adults. I don't know. It just. Yeah,
I agree. I was actually about to say Mando season 2 because, like, you see Luke training Grogu, but that doesn't happen in season 2. That happens in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's right.
And all the way.
The Book of Boba Fett is better than both, so obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I would have to say Andor. I like what it is.
I don't disagree with Jamo. Mando saves Star Wars. I actually kind of agree with that.
Ron, yeah.
I would agree with
but
that.
Andor has rejuvenated Star Wars.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I could. Yep.
Mando walked, so
Andor could run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Mando's about to start running here. We'll have a 3rd season soon. I'm a little just tired of the merchandising opportunity side of it with like Grogu and everything. I find it to be a little.
Yep.
It's been a little overdone at this point, so
he's everywhere now.
Yeah,
especially Christmas time. Oh my god!
If you guys want a hot take, this is one that Manny knows that you guys are gonna hate. Is that I personally really did dislike the choice of him flying in a Chrome N1 versus the Razor Crest. I really liked that part of his identity, being a bounty hunter, having a bounty hunter ship, and now flying. It just seems like fan fiction that somebody kind of came up with this idea and just pitched it to Lucasfilm. We're like, oh, a fan wants a Chrome N1 starfighter to be a ship. We'll go with that. The fans voted for that one, so it's still really cool. It's super badass, but I'm gonna miss the fact that we didn't really get as much of the bounty hunter version of the Mandalorian as I kind of wanted. I think we all expected it to be a bounty hunter show for much longer than it ended up being, but still thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it's a good show. It's a very good show. Very good.
It was good. It subverted my expectations, especially near the end of oh my god, was it season 2 was Boba Fett, right?
Yes.
Where like so in season 1 they spent the whole episode of like the ship being taken apart and then rebuilding it, and then it was destroyed in season 2, and I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. Like it made me excited, but then getting the N1, I do agree, Nick. It just feels like at that point it's like,
It
all right,
felt
cool,
a
he's got
little
the
out of
Darksaber,
place.
like he's got the Force Jedi baby that he's like, super cute. He's got the badass ship, and it just was like, okay, like what RPG are we playing, right? Like,
yeah, like it just felt unnecessary. Granted, like you see the Empire blow it up like for space, like okay, I guess it makes sense. But when has Star Wars ever tried to make sense?
It's true.
All right, yeah,
True.
but like it just felt like a very unnecessary change. Granted, when I first saw the new N1, I was like, I'm all in, because the N1 looks it's such a sexy ship.
Yeah.
I thought about it, like Nick's arguments, like I thought it was like, yeah, it was a tad bit unnecessary. The Razor Crest really reflected him as a character, and the N1 looks sick, but it doesn't scream bounty hunter.
No, it just if it's like Dad Patrol, it's just like, I guess how long can he milk him going around with his little boy,
it's the
going
Dad
on
Batch.
quests. The Dad Batch, yeah.
Dad Batch.
I mean, we talked about Bad Batch before. Even that, like, Lucasfilm has done a really good job of just pleasant surprises with all of those stuff. The Bad Batch with the Mandalorian, with Andor. Mentioning who said the ISB thing is interesting. Jamo. Totally, very
Yeah, the
intriguing.
ISB, super
Totally.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, do you want the more, I think, slow paced but more intense, high stakes, gritty, or do you want the more action based, exciting, consistently exciting, flashy side of Star Wars? They both coexist really nicely together, and that's why, again, it's not apples to apples. So, but I'm curious. For me, as somebody who drew, also with a film background, I do appreciate good writing, and without trying to sound too mean, The Mandalorian doesn't really have anything that stands out to me as like good writing outside of just good ideas. Like, let's have Luke show up, spoiler alert, but like Ahsoka, makes a comeback, stuff like that. That's less about that's not dialogue, those are plot points, those are story ideas. So again, I'm not trying to shit on Mando. I don't want anyone to think I'm a hater of The Mandalorian. I am. I do think the first season is, I don't love the first season. The middle part of the first season is there's a lot of filler episodes that I don't really care for, but I mean, the Rick Famuyiwa episodes are not great compared to the rest, like Deborah Chow and Favreau's episodes and Filoni's. So
yeah, I tried to rewatch the season 1, and getting into those middle episodes, I literally was like, I'm just gonna go do something else. Like, it's just not engaging, right? It looks cool, right? He looks great, there's a Mandalorian walking around on the screen, but that's.
Tecumseh, people gave Theory shit for crying during that scene, Luke Mando, on live stream. I was fucking bawling. I also fucking cried like a little bitch and said no on last episode of Obi when Owen asked him if he wanted to meet him. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I cried during the scene at the end of The Mandalorian, and then I also had tears the last episode of Obi-Wan.
I had a massive smile on my face when I saw Luke. And when Obi-Wan Darth Vader face, I also teared up a bit.
Dude, oh no, he's like, I'm so sorry for all of it. He's crying. I'm like, dude, I'm like, come on. So good. Injected into my veins.
That one line of Anakin's gone, I am what remains, which is enough to break me.
Yep.
To know that he does not see himself as equal to what he was before. Man.
Yeah. Any other last words on Andor before we get on to dinosaurs with Drew?
I can't wait for season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Just 2 seasons. Thank God it's only 2 seasons.
Oh, it's only 2? Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
If it end, yeah.
There's Lucas. I think Disney has talked to Lucasfilm about not oversaturating for the sake of it, about not just doing 5 seasons of something just because they can. I think they're trying to be wary of burnout. So 2 seasons is perfect for a show like Andor. I don't think we need. Yeah, but 2 is the number. Yeah. All right, time for Drew likes dinosaurs. Oh, it's been so long since we've done this, man.
It's been a while, dude. It's been a while.
I'm excited.
So I have no idea what the section is.
So this is Drew picking one of his. Drew loves dinosaurs, so he's going to talk about a dinosaur, Manny. And we're going to learn a little bit about a dinosaur.
I had to take off my Godzilla shirt to put on the 312 shirt to do the show. But yes, I love dinosaurs. So
what are we talking about?
Yeah, the dinosaur that we're talking about today is, oh my god, I'm going to butcher this. A new dinosaur that was discovered technically in 2017, but didn't actually become a dinosaur until I think it was this year that it was named and has its whole genus and stuff. The dinosaur is called help me, Nick. Mabresaurus? M-B-I-R-E-S-A-U-R-U-S.
Named
Mabresaurus.
Rafi.
Yes, Mabresaurus Rafi. Yep. So it is Africa's believed to be Africa's oldest dinosaur, or at least the oldest dinosaur skeleton ever discovered in Africa. It is a 6-foot-long plant-eating dinosaur, but walked on 2 feet instead of the normal 4, like sauropods tend to walk on 4 feet, which is quite interesting. Now, unlike, so we talked about Ankylosaurus in the past and Tyrannosaurus Rex. All of those dinosaurs have like subgenuses, right? Like something that looks kind of like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it isn't. This dinosaur is the only known dinosaur of its genus. So it's standalone, yeah, which is it's very interesting. So let me see if I can pull up a fact or two here. The generic name Mabresaurus combines a reference to the Mabri district of Zimbabwe with the Latin sauros, meaning reptile, of course. And the specific name Rathi honors Michael Rathi, who was one of the discoverers of the fossil and his contributions to Zimbabwean paleontology.
Interesting.
Why the dinosaur was named after him specifically, I can only guess that they did final salvo with all of the paleontologists and Michael won. And so he got to have his last name turned into the full title. So yeah, I guess the other interesting thing too, 6 foot long, 75 pound, 60 to 70 pound dinosaur, which is quite interesting for something to be so long and yet so, I don't know, is that light? 70 pounds? Like my dog, my 7-month-old.
It seems
Golden,
pretty big. Is it really not that big?
Is it? It seems pretty big. They said 6 feet, or at least the skeleton 6 feet
Here's a
long.
comparison.
Yeah.
6 feet long, 75 pounds. Okay.
Oh god, that's an ugly ass
Very-
website. Oh my god.
Very.
Oh god.
Yep.
That was horrible. I have to flush my eyes now. Oh my god.
Yep. But of course, if you hadn't known, I love it. It's so weird to me, dude. Like I have become so over analytic of like, oh yeah, paleontologist, right, in Zimbabwe. Here's the guy, Christopher Griffin, and he's of course a white dude sitting there, digging away at the bones, and I'm just like, come on, man, like, I don't know.
Well, they send these people out, different.
They do. Yeah, it's Virginia Tech, so
yeah.
of course there's but yeah, no. So that was probably one of the more interesting finds in 2022. And so when Nick asked me to pick a dinosaur, I was like, oh, dude,
Africa's
oldest dinosaur and Africa's oldest dinosaur. Yeah, man, let's do it.
It looks like it's got like this model has like almost like fur. It looks.
Yeah. So a lot of and this is actually one of the things that we are just learning about within the past few decades about dinosaurs in general. When the bones fossilize, I can't remember the cartilage, whatever a feather, the inner part of a feather is made of, it doesn't actually fossilize like normal bone does, which is why dinosaurs haven't had feathers or had been believed to never have feathers before, until we find them in different sediments, different layers of rock, and yeah, we're discovering that they definitely had feathers. Being on Earth, right? Like you need some way of being able to cool yourself off or keep yourself warm, right? Because they lived all over the world, right? So
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Imagine going from that to a chicken.
I know, right? No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
massive
so funny
degrade.
too. Our
Fender Elite config on the dinosaur.
Yep. Our golden retriever is allergic to either chicken or beef, and we're pretty sure it's chicken because I guess that's a thing for golden retrievers to be allergic to chicken. And so with all of our friends, we're walking around and they're like, "Oh yeah, do you feed him chicken?" And I'm like, "Oh no, he's allergic to dinosaurs." And they look at me like I'm crazy. I was just like, "Yeah."
I've never seen a dog who's allergic to chicken. Usually, I used to have a lab, and like he would go crazy for chicken. Almost every dog does.
Yeah,
so
no.
it's definitely a rare exception.
Other interesting fact that I learned about Labradors too is that they are specifically missing a gene in their DNA that tells them when to stop eating. And so if they are given a constant stream of food, most labs will eat forever until they get sick or die. It's so strange. I never knew that. So anyone who's got labs, be careful.
Yeah.
Don't leave food around.
I like to eat. Yep.
Yep. So.
All right.
So it's a dinosaur in its own genus class. If so, like, what's the implications?
Well, what it might mean is that it's the first in the genus found. Through my own research, and this is just me reading Wikipedia, I guess they have machines and they're able to discover within the fossilized remains if there actually is any if they're related to like any other dinosaur or like where they came from, right? Because clearly, this one came in, I think it was the Triassic period, which is sort of in the middle. There's
the Cretaceous and the like pre.
I can't remember what the first one, but the Triassic is sort of in the middle before the Cretaceous period. So clearly it might have broken off into something else. But as of right now, all we know is that it's just that.
Gotcha. So like, if you were to tree all of the dinosaurs, this guy would be like alone in his own branch.
Yeah,
like, separate from the other guys.
Yep, and it's a shorter branch and lower on the tree than everything else is above it, which is very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Drew, for another segment. That's our 7th segment now of Drew likes dinosaurs.
Drew likes dinosaurs.
Well, when you're not on with us, we will pocket it. It's only for you. So we will not be doing it while you're away because it doesn't make sense to do it while you're away.
Well, thank you.
I don't know
thank
what
you.
I would say. I'm not Drew. You're Drew.
I'm still vying for you to do like Tolkien segment, right? Like let's get some Middle Earth in here, man.
Totally.
Come
That's
on.
a good idea. We could always the point of the topics, everybody, is that we can swap them out. So if you ever have ideas, let us know. All right, we're gonna review our meme section of our Discord is always popping. So it's time for we're gonna take a look at our memes really quick here in the meme section of our Discord here. So let me pull up our Discord and go down to our memes. And actually, Drew, you just posted one. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. If you guys want to, Manny and Drew, if you want to scroll up a bit, I think I'm going to start at JF Gaudreau's Anakin and Obi-Wan. You can see on screen here. So, look, Master Speed Bumps. Anakin, those are children. I love it. That's so good. Anything with Anakin that's like, I mean, it's terrible because it's like talking about killing children, but it's just Anakin in the meme of Anakin just loving to kill children because he's just like, you know what? I'm going to kill kids now, apparently.
The determined look on his face in the second image and Obi-Wan being like, Anakin, no!
Anakin, summon.
Yep.
Here's one from you, Drew. This is a Meme Masters submission, which we will pick the Meme Masters soon. You're on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of Sith Lord. You fool!
Well, he can't
Jar
use
Jar in
the
the background.
Force. He can't use the Force.
He can't. Yeah.
So I was like,
he can certainly reroll. He can do a lot of reroll, I go, that's for sure.
It's true. It's pretty tankier than the others, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, Jar Jar's on the council, right? In this
Jar Jar's on the council in the background, yeah.
Oh, there he's smiling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd die fighting so hard to read. Fighting side by side with Palpatine. What about side by side with a Skywalker? I could do that. Oh, that's a crossover right there. I love that one.
They kissed each other though. God damn it.
It's it's
that
good
is
stuff.
such
JF Gaudreau is
to like young girls. The fact that like Reylo was the thing. It's just like,
people in
there's,
Alabama are like
very-
rejoicing. They're like, da, 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 da,
Kylo is a bit
da.
of an incel, and
JF is
like, the last
hilarious.
film, and they just decide that, hey, they should be together. Feels bad. Just does not sit right with me.
Yeah.
When she says she uses OnlyFans, but there's an AC unit at her house. Liar.
Liar.
She's not using OnlyFans. That's a good one. Very kind of wholesome almost because it's so literal. When you're trying to put presents under the tree, but the younglings come downstairs and see you. Oh boy. There's another one. Yo, look, it's JF Gaudreau again.
Yeah.
Another JF Gaudreau. House owner, I'd like to break both of my legs. Architects say no more.
Bro, that's
a good one, man.
I mean, imagine if you had to go up the stairs sloshed. You're just not gonna make it up there.
Do you crawl? Right? Because you can grab the steps, right? Like you just pull yourself up there, man.
I mean, even like even with children, right? It's just
I couldn't even imagine with children. I had a good friend of mine on a trampoline. His foot went through the connection point, right? He was bouncing too close to the edge. It's exactly like this if you just fell through.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Tecumseh saying, hey, I'm from Alabama, and me and my sister resemble that remark, and I said, I'm sure you two have beautiful kids together.
Yep. That's my favorite line to use at work too. Hey, I resemble that remark. Yep.
What do you have been looking forward to this for a long time? I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Why is it Greedo, Drew? Why is it?
That's what Greedo says.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. He sits down with Han Solo. Han Solo
What
says,
about-
"Hey, I'm so sorry. I've been looking forward to this." And then he leans over. And he goes, "I've been looking forward to this for a long time." It's like, oh god.
McClunky? Remember that they added McClunky?
Oh my god.
They did.
McClunky. What the hell is McClunky? McClunky. All right, you guys, it's that time. Before we wrap up, we got a couple of giveaways. We're gonna do. You know what time it is?
You know what time it is? It's that giveaway time. Nick gonna give us some free shit.
All right. So Let me pull up Nightbot really quick before I show you guys what I have for you.
Good old Nightbot.
Oh, you gotta love Nightbot. Nightbot, 80% of the time is trustworthy, but sometimes there's some fraudulent ballot activity.
Much better than Daybot.
Oh, indeed. Daybot can never be trusted.
Daybot can never be trusted.
All right, you guys. So it's gonna be a little hard to see in this little screen here, but I have a D8 scenario die. Okay, it has different icons for each of these scenarios in X-Wing, including you got this one is chance, we've got this one here is assault, and then we have scramble there, and then I'm trying to pull the last one, which is the salvage mission here. It's little crates. So we are going to give one of those away. Subscribers will be twice as likely to win. You have to type 312, so I'm going to give you guys a second to do that. This is from the Windy City Trials participation prize. Drew, I'm going to send you one of these because I have extras. Or actually, I'll when I see you, I'll just give you one.
Oh, of course.
Andy Hera from Etsy. I teamed up with him to make these. We went to a master die creator who created the mold, and then we went and made 50 of these. So it was quite a extensive process. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I'm really honestly, I'm going to toot my own horn here. I'll toot my own horn here. I'm going to toot my own horn because we're the only ones that have done this. Like, I'm sure we haven't been the first people or the only people to think of this idea, but we're the only people who have executed it. So I'm really proud of us at the 312 for continuing to lead the charge with dope prizes. So
absolutely, man.
Yeah, really happy with it.
You ever want to make an Etsy page and get these, roll it out, dude.
I'd be
That's
reselling
awesome.
someone else's creation. So somebody's asked me if I could sell it to them. I said no. The only way I'm going to be, it's going to just be through giveaways right now, you guys. So if you guys want to continue to support us through subs and unlock these kind of giveaways, that's how we're going to do it, just to keep us moving forward.
Support the channel, guys. Come on.
Support the channel. Even just being here in the chat, watching our podcast tonight is a way of supporting us. So I appreciate it. I just reviewed the new MCP dev, Join the Dark Side. Nice. All right.
Nick works to see a sunrise.
Was he a dwarf?
See, right?
Yes, yes. The meeting was at a goddamn mountain. All right, we have a bunch of people entered. Last call. Type 312 if you want to win the D8 scenario die.
3, 1, 2.
It's got red ink. We got each scenario on here twice. We got chance there. We've got scramble. We've got assault. And then we have the crates. I love the crate side. It's really cool. Good stuff.
Just hope they don't add or move any scenarios.
312.
I mean, but if they add a whole new set of 4, Nick gets to make a new dice.
That's true.
So they have not expressed interest in swapping anything out, anything in the coming 6 months. It's not going to happen. The good news is if they keep 4, you can still just choose a facing and make that one of the 4 scenarios.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, so this will last us quite a while. It's going to have use for quite some time. All right, the winner of the scenario die is drum roll. Well, it's Tecumseh again. Tecumseh, you are just winning everything recently, man.
As always. As it tends to happen with Nightbot, right? I remember that from the good old last year days of 312's the 312 show.
Yeah, Tecumseh's won 3 giveaways in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
3 of 6 giveaways or something. The split is pretty good.
Go buy a lottery ticket, man. Seriously.
Yeah. For a while it was me. I mean, Dr. Weston Jamo has won a ton. Jamo saying rigged, indeed. There's plenty extras of these. We'll be giving away more in the future, so don't you worry. More opportunities. The next thing, the second and final thing we're going to give away is actually a gifted subscription a month of Discord Nitro.
Ooh.
I've been thinking about doing this for a while. So this will be the classic plan. So it won't give you everything that the standard Nitro gives you, but it'll allow you to access, being able to post any server emotes you want, no matter where you are, streaming in full HD, 1080p, 60 frames, or at source when you stream your games like Tabletop Simulator. So the keyword for that is going to be Discord. I just only want people to enter who would want to use a month of this subscription. So type Discord if you want a free subscription of Discord Nitro.
That's awesome. Not the new amazing Nitro, the classic Nitro, not the old busted Nitro. Classic Nitro.
There we go. We got 2 people in so far, Dr. Weston and Scoot.
Of course.
Yeah, no, Nitro is great. I have a subscription to Nitro. It boosted our server here a couple of times. And
excellent. I mean, I see the ad for it all the time, and I actually read through it. I was like, what is this? I was like,
it's actually
man,
pretty
for
nice.
someone who wants to. It's really nice if you want to stream stuff. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's what's cool is that you can. I like it. It might sound like a small thing, but being able to use my server emotes on other people's servers, like my Tinder God's Liberty emote, like I can spam that wherever I am. I care about that kind of stuff. That's what's important to me.
Yeah.
All right, last call. Type Discord if you want a chance to win a subscription to Discord Nitro for a month. What I'd like you to do is, if you win this, claim it in the form, but then please DM me, por favor. All right, 5.
Are you sure this isn't a Tinder thing? Right? You're like,
please slide into my DMs. 5.
Please slide into the DM.
4, 3, 1, 2. Get it? All right.
Hey.
The winner of the Nitro is Scooter. My Tinder god. Scooter is a Tinder god. So one of the Tinder gods. Scooter 8709. Awesome. All right, Will, send me a DM, man, so I can get that for you and gift it. All right, you all. Well, it's been an awesome, big success. First, our debut stream, season 2. Manny, I hope you had a good time, man. I look forward to doing more of this with you.
Yeah.
Drew, it's so good to have you back, man. I look forward to seeing you when I go back home. It's been a long time.
Alex, I can't wait to see you, man.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It'll be a lot of fun. I know we're such good buddies. All right, so. Here's the deal, everybody. Upcoming streams. Friday, I'm streaming 3 games of X-Wing. So 3 games of Tinder Gods versus NJO for the final week of the Nickel City X-Wing League, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, and then running up until about midnight or 11-ish Central. So lots of X-Wing to be played. And I'm super excited about it. So, and then from there, after that, we're gonna head into our holiday break. So I will keep you posted on our exact schedule, but there is plenty of X-Wing to be streamed. Thank you all so much for watching. Our next episode, episode 2 of season 2, will be in January. We will announce that when that is TBD. And yeah, anything else you guys want to say, Manny and Drew, before we sign off here tonight?
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to host this amazing show with Nick, and I'm looking forward to future episodes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man, I was going to say, I am so, Nick, you and I have always been talking about, oh yeah, I'd like to do this, and I've always been sort of like, oh, what is it like on the other side? I can't wait to watch the show and see what you guys do. I'm super psyched for it, man.
Yeah, Drew, I'm happy you're here. It feels like passing along the torch.
The baton is being passed.
Right,
yeah,
the baton.
Yeah, it's like the Olympic torch. Hopefully, I just don't drop it on the way there. On the
right.
The next iteration of whatever this becomes.
For the blanks that I roll, you can pick them up and take them into focus.
What did I sacrifice? Everything!
Everything!
Every time I play Luke. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great week. Be safe. Happy holidays, of course, because, hey, Christmas is coming up. For those that celebrate Christmas, Happy New Year as well. If I don't get a chance to talk to you, some of you in the chat, or see you before the new year, have a Happy New Year. Cheers to a great 2023. There's a lot of exciting things happening for our stream, including us. We already hit our donation goal for our new equipment. And so I've already been ordering new equipment, including using another one of these microphones for in-person X-Wing commentary that we'll be trying to get set up here in the next several months. So lots to look forward to for 312. And we will be seeing you all very soon. Be safe. Have a great week and have a good weekend as it rolls up. Thank you all. See you later.
Have a good night.